Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do my favourite video games of all time because I feel like I've done so many sort of video game related videos that this would just be the perfect thing, and there's quite a lot of different games from different consoles in there, so I thought it'd be quite interesting to share. So we're going to get straight in and begin. So this one's not going to come as a shock, really. It's Crash Bandicoot 2 for the PlayStation 1. So, as I've said before, Crash Bandicoot is like my favourite game ever. I have played the first one, and I did play the third one with friends, but the second one was the one that I spent a lot of time on. I tried to complete this game so much. I somehow had 99 lives on this game, which I'm still kind of like trying to figure out how I had 99 lives, because that's one of the trophies to get the platinum, and I am nowhere near that. Like, I get a good amount, probably about 30, and then I get to a really hard level and get back like 4 lives. So yeah, I've been playing it recently and been trying to get to 99 lives rather than 4. So, but it's just a great platform game. I have played it so much now that I can basically speed run the levels, and then I have been looking at how to get all the gems, because obviously as a kid didn't know how to get all the coloured gems, and I never knew about the secret levels and things. So yeah, but the original has a special place in my heart. It's just so fun. The music's amazing. Like, the levels are great. There's no levels that are particularly like ridiculously hard like in the first one, which is what I love about this one. Again, the next one's not going to be a massive shock either. Spyro 1. Again, I have played the third one as a child. Never played the second one until I got the Reignited trilogy. So the first one has a very like nostalgic place in my heart. Like, it's the best one out of the three. It's the one that I spent loads of time playing on as a kid. It was just great fun. It's just a great fun game, going around collecting gems, fighting off the enemies, uh, chasing the egg person. There was just loads of things to do, rescuing the dragon. It was just a great game, especially as a child, to sort of just go around and play around with it and not have to do a lot on it. And as a kid, I only got to like the second or third world, and I've obviously beat it as an adult. So it's nice to be able to revisit that, and it's happy times, really, when the world was a lot of a lot nicer place back then. Number 3 on my list is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for the PlayStation 1. This game is like amazing. There was never been a Harry Potter game better than this. Like, this was incredible. Yeah, the graphics are very bad now, but I loved it at the time. Again, never finished it because I was like 7 or 8, and it was just, I never got through the full game. But I have recently played it. I haven't finished it, but I have recently played it again. And I didn't get very far at all as a kid. I was like, oh, I must have just gone around the same bits all the time. But it was just so fun. Like, there was like all the spells you could do, going around Hogwarts. I feel like after this first and second game, obviously the company that made them changed, so then they made it um more of the same, but a lot easier, and not, I don't know, it didn't have the same feel to me. So the first one is absolutely amazing, and I feel like if you've got it and it's hiding away, get it, have a go, see what you think, because it's the perfect time to revisit old games while a lot of us are still stuck in the house with not a lot to do. Okay, so a DS game now, which I have spoken about, and it's Super Mario Brothers. This is one of my favourite games just because of how long I was spent on this game. I have mentioned before that me and my two best friends at the time had this game, and we used to meet up and play the game and sort of help each other out and try and fully complete it. And I think I nearly fully completed the first one, with all the coins and everything on the level that you could do. So it was one of those games where, again, I spent a lot of time trying to complete the game. So that's why it's on my list. It's a typical Mario Brothers game, and yeah, it's just a great game. And I have the one for the 3DS, and they're both great. They're great, and all the originals are great. It's just Mario, great game. So throwing it back now to the Game Boy Advance, which is Mario Kart Super Circuit. This is obviously on my list because, again, I played this so much growing up. Like, I can't even tell you how many times. It is your typical Mario Kart game, but it's one that is always pops up in my mind when everyone says, "What do you think about when you think of Mario Kart?" I think of Mario Kart Super Circuit. Like, that game was amazing. Like, me and my brother had both had Game Boys, and we played together on it. We'd take it in turns to race. It was like, before you could obviously play via the Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi wasn't a thing, you'd have the cables and you'd have to connect them to your Game Boys and play it that way if you wanted to play together. So that game is a fantastic. I love how they've put some of those on the Mario Kart on the mobile version, and some on the Mario Kart 8 as well. So they've always sort of like put old races in. I think there was some on the Mario Kart Wii as well. But yeah, it's just a typical Mario Kart game. And I love obviously the portability of the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance was one of my favourite consoles, handheld consoles back in the day. Another one. So this is a PlayStation 2 game, and whenever I say this one, a lot of people haven't played it, but again, one that I spent a lot of time on. Simpsons Road Rage, which is basically Crazy Taxi, Simpsons version. It's just great fun. Like, you go around taxiing the Simpsons characters around different locations in Springfield. That's basically the aim of the game, and you have to try and get as many people taken in the amount of time that you're given, and then you can play 2-player as well. That's basically the gist. But it's just, I had hours of fun on this game. It's just one of those where you just play it, and it never tires. And it's just, yeah, it's on my list because it's one of those that instantly comes to mind when I think of video games and like what I enjoy playing. So if I'm not sort of elaborating, but a lot of them there isn't really much to say about. So the next one is an absolute classic. It's Simpsons Hit and Run. Like, Simpsons Hit and Run is like god tier gaming. Like, absolutely incredible game. It was the first sort of game where we had an open world game of Springfield, and there was actual missions to do in order, and it was just, for its time, it was very, very advanced, and it was very good. It's still great now. Like, again, I played it probably in the last 2 years, and it's still great. It still looks quite good to say it was PlayStation 2, and it's a great experience. Each level you play as a different character from the Simpsons family, and you go around, you have to do certain things. So there might be, you've got to go and deliver something to someone, you need to go and follow somebody, or go and take some. It's just like, it's basically an open world type game, but in the Simpsons world, and it's made a little bit sort of easier for children. And it's fantastic, and I think everybody has played this game in their lifetime. If you haven't, please go and try it out. I really hope they make sort of either a remaster or something following on from this. I feel like we need a new Simpsons game in our life. Okay, so the next one, everyone knows this is one of my favourite games on the PS3, and it's Last of Us. So I'm not going to say too much about this because I've said enough. I've said loads. But The Last of Us, again, was my first story game that I ever played. It was phenomenal. One of the best games I've ever played to this day. I don't think there's a game story-wise that I've played and topped it yet. It's just great. You get Ellie and Joel, and it's the last of us, as in like the last people in the world, because there's an apocalypse going on from when you get bitten. It's like they need a vaccine to get rid of the virus that's going around. A little bit obviously ironic at the moment with what's happening in the world. But yeah, the Last of Us is absolutely fantastic, and I highly recommend it to put it on your playlist if you've not played it yet. A Naughty Dog game, the Uncharted series. So I haven't really spoken too much about the Uncharted series because when I made my PS3 video, I'd not got the Uncharted series in that. But I'd obviously got the Uncharted. Went to get the Uncharted 4. So I played the Uncharted 1 to 3 first, and they are absolutely insane games. Like, I love these. It's just so fun. It's so full of action as well. So you're going around, going through, basically trying to get to a location, but each location has like soldiers and things that you have to kill, and there's lots of parkour. Like, the parkour is one of the best things about this game. Like, the scenery, the parkouring, just the way it looks as a game and the way it plays is beautiful, and they're just great games. Like, the Nathan Drake is a great character. And there's some puzzles in there. There's a bit of everything. I feel like this should definitely be on your playlist. I mean, I've played it on the PS3, but they do have the Nathan Drake collection on the PS4 now, and I feel like, yep, if you need something new to play, play Uncharted, because I finished the first one in probably like a week. Like, that's how I got addicted, and I just couldn't stop playing, and that's when you know it's a great game. Another one on my list that I've spoke about before is the South Park game. I mean, I'm going to put both of them in, but specifically Fractured But Whole. I feel like this was my favourite out of the two. I just love how it is basically like the TV show. Like, they didn't ruin the animation, they kept it true to the show. It was fantastic, where you could just walk around South Park and see different characters and go into the houses, but then you also had your storyline missions that you needed to do. So then it was basically open world for South Park, and it was great. I mean, I'm a massive South Park fan, and I just love what Ubisoft did with it, and I'm so ready for if they bring a new one out, and I'm hoping something's going to be announced at the Ubisoft event this week. Next one is LittleBigPlanet. I have spoken about this one briefly. Again, I sort of got introduced to LittleBigPlanet, and it's become one of my favourite little platformers. It's so cute, and the levels are so fun. It's just great, and it's just a platformer that you just go around and do different levels on. That's it really, but it feels so smooth to play, and it looks amazing. The soundtrack's great. It's just a nice little chilled game really, and it's just one I've always sort of played a lot of, so it's one that sticks in my mind when people ask me what one of my favourite games is. Rayman Legends. So again, I do have Rayman Origins. I had that on the Wii, but the Rayman Legends is like, the graphics on that were insane. I have spoke about this in my PS3 video, but the graphics I can't get over. Like, for the PS3, that was like the best graphics I'd ever seen. So bright and colourful, just looks lovely. The games, again, it's sort of like a platformer. There's a theme going on here, but we all know that I love a good platformer game. It's just great. I love it. The music is incredible. Like, this has such good music. Like, it gets you pumped if you're playing this game with the music. It's so good. And some of the levels can be quite tricky. It's like, it's not a particularly easy platformer at times, but oh my god, they are great to play, and it's just a joy. Like, that is all I can describe Rayman as, is a joy. And I really want a new one. I feel like it's been a while now since we've had a Rayman game, so it'd be great if they brought out a new Rayman. One from the PlayStation 1, which, if you watch me and my brother talk about PS1 games and PS2 games, it was in that, but I don't know if it was in my video or my brother's video. But anyway, it's called Muppet Racemania. So the show The Muppets brought out a racing game, and it was one of me and my brother's favourite game growing up. Like, it was one of those games where we just sit and play all day. Like, it was great. It had clips from the movie in as the cutscenes. There were so many levels you could unlock, so many characters you could unlock. I think we unlocked them all. We've spent that long on it, and we just unlocked everything. And we've recently been playing it again in our gaming room downstairs, and it's still a joy, even though the graphics are obviously not what you remember. But it's still great to play, and it's just one of those that not many people have heard of or got. So I feel like this is a good recommendation if you are a fan of the Muppets films and you want to play like an old retro game, then go for this one. It's like Mario Kart basically, but for Muppets, and it's like different locations in the Muppets, is how I can describe it. Alright, last one on this list, which I don't think anybody's going to be expecting, but it's a game that I spent a load of time playing with my brother. I think when you have younger siblings, especially boys, you do end up playing games that you probably wouldn't have played if you had like a sister or you were on your own playing them. But this one is called The Italian Job for PlayStation 1. This game, like, honestly, I wouldn't have thought I'd enjoy it as much, but it was so much fun. It's obviously based on the movie, so you do everything on the movie, so like the chase, the setting up the heist and stuff. And yeah, it's brilliant. Like, we had so much fun with it. We had so many hours of gameplay playing this game, trying to do the missions, like getting my dad to help because we were stuck. Like, there was so much like things I can remember about this game, and it's one of those where I think, yeah, that was a good time in my childhood, where I'd just sit and we'd play The Italian Job in the afternoon, like on a weekend when it might have been raining outside. It was just a great time. And I think it's got the actors from the voice actors doing, well, not the voice actors, the actors from the film doing it for the game. Don't quote me though, I don't know if that's completely true. But there was, yeah, I think we eventually beat it, but there were a few missions that, obviously because we were quite young when we had the PlayStation 1, that we struggled with because we weren't that up to date on the gaming and we needed a bit more practice. But they're like my favourite video games of all time. I mean, there's probably some more that I haven't mentioned, but these are like the ones that stick out to me in particular. So I thought I'll just put these in. Again, let me know in the comments. Did you play any of these games? Did you like them? Which ones are your favourite games? Let me know. Like, I'm always interested. I love filming gaming type videos because it's just one of my favourite things to do. Um, there will be a new video up hopefully again this week, but it's not going to be video game related. So it's just going to be something different, something a little bit more serious. Quite scared to upload it, but hopefully it'll be worth the upload. So I'm getting really sort of inspired by people giving lots of love on this channel at the moment. So I really appreciate it. If you're a new subscriber, if you've watched the videos that you wouldn't normally watch, thank you so much, because my views are going up, my subscribers are going up. So keep doing what you're doing, because whatever you're doing is working, and I am feeling so motivated to film videos, and that's because you are giving back, like the subs, the likes, the views, and for that just makes me feel really great, and it's sort of helping me in this weird time of life to get up and film videos in my bedroom, which again I haven't really done a lot because I usually vlog. So thank you. Basically, I was just saying thank you and just sort of went around the houses. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a like. If you would like to see more videos from me in the future, click subscribe. You won't be disappointed. And I will see you again in my next video. Thanks, guys.